Hi guys, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So guys, today we are going to start with chapter 5, Union and its territory. We are already done with chapter 2, 3 and 4. If you haven't checked them out, do check them out in the playlist on my channel. So guys, if you are liking this handmade notes series, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel and watch all the videos till end. And you can make the notes by pausing the video and noting down the point which I have written in my notes. Okay, so let us begin with chapter 5, Union and its territories. Now, article 1 to 4 under part 1 of the constitution deal with union and its territory. Okay, so what is it saying? That article 1 to 4 under part 1 of the constitution, CN is constitution. I write this short form in my notes instead of writing the entire spelling. Deal with union and its territory. Okay, so what is article 1 saying? Article 1 describes India, that is Bharat, as union of state rather than federation of state. Okay, so article 1 is describing India, that is Bharat. So second name of India is Bharat. How is it defining India? As union of states. Okay, union of states rather than federation of state. Okay, the Constituent Assembly in the Constituent Assembly, there was no in the Constituent. Sorry, this is it. I have written by mistakenly. It should be in the Constituent Assembly. There was no unanimity regarding the name. Some suggested Bharat and some suggested India. So what they are saying here is the when the Constituent Assembly was forming, came to a point where they were deciding upon what should we name India now henceforth. So there was no unanimity. Okay, so there was I mean, some people had different opinion and others had different opinion. Some people were wanting to name it Bharat, and some people were wanting to name the country India. Okay, therefore CA is Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly adopted mix of both. Okay, so as there was no majority for single name, therefore Constituent Assembly adopted mix of both the names. Okay, so therefore now India, at present India is called Bharat also and India also. Okay, so next point is the phrase union of state has been preferred instead of federation of state. Okay, so the phrase union of state, as we have seen here, is preferred instead of federation of states. What is the reason of this? As Indian federation is not the result of agreement among the state like American federation. So why we have preferred the name union of state? Because the Indian Federation is not result of agreement among the state like American Federation. Okay, as American Federation or American state have an agreement between them, India or Indian state do not have agreement between them. Okay, we are a collection of state or union of state. Okay, union is happening over here. There is no official agreement. Okay, so therefore we use the phrase union of state. According to article 1, the territory of India can be classified into three categories. Okay, now according to article 1, the territory of India can be divided into three categories. Okay, so the first category is territory of state, union territory, and territory that may be acquired by government of India at any time. So the territory of India can be divided into what categories? Territory of state, that means normal states. Union territories. Okay, we already knew this divisions, state and union territories. Now third division is territories that may be acquired by a government of India at any time. Okay, so the third division is if a government of India is acquiring any territory, that also will be included under article 1. Okay. So the territory of India is wider expression. It means state plus union territory. Okay. So territory of India is a wider term. But what do you mean by territory of India? It means state and union territory. State plus union territory is equal to territory of India. Okay. Union of India, only state. Okay. When we say territory of India, we mean state plus union territory. But when we say Union of India, we mean only state. Union territory is not included in Union of India. Okay. State are member of federal system and share distribution of power with center. Okay. Now the state are member of federal system and state share some powers with the center. Okay, as we know, there is central government in the center and there are state government. So according to the three lists, that is state list, concurrent list, and okay, so according to the three list, we share the power between power we share the power with the center. Okay. Now, union territories and acquired territories are directly administered by the central government. Okay, so union territories, as we all know, union territory of Delhi, है ना, or Puducherry or now Leh and Jammu and Kashmir, etc. will are administered by the central government. Okay, now next page. Being sovereign state, India can acquire foreign territories according to the mode recognized by international law, that is cession, purchase, gift, lease, plebiscite, occupation, conquest, subjugation. Example, India acquired several foreign territories such as Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu, Puducherry and Sikkim since the commencement of the constitution. Now what they are saying over here is, being a sovereign state, as India is a sovereign state, India can acquire foreign territories. Now, as we have seen in the earlier page, that the third point was, we'll see again. Here the third point is the territories that may be acquired by government of India at any time. So they are saying here is, India can acquire the foreign territories by different modes. Okay, so these modes are recognized by international law. And what are these methods or modes? That is cession, purchase. India can purchase a territory. India can, if someone is gifting India a territory, if someone is leasing a territory, if there is a plebiscite happening like it happened in Assam, sorry, Sikkim. Okay, so these are all the ways in which India can acquire foreign territories. Okay, and example is given over there here, such as that, as we have already acquired the territory under this rule, that are Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu, Puducherry, Sikkim. Okay, so now Article 2. Now, Article 2 grants two power to the Parliament. Okay. Now, what is happening over here is Article 2 is granting two powers to the Parliament. What are those two powers? Power to admit new state to the already existing state, and power to establish new state. Okay. Now, what power Article 2 is granting to the Parliament is power to admit a new state to a already existing state. For example, Maharashtra is already existing state, and Article 2 is giving power to the Parliament that it is possible that a territory can be added to Maharashtra, and its boundary can be extended, or it can be made a completely new state. Okay, for example, I'm giving an example. And second power is power to establish a new state, and here establish a state which were not existent earlier. Okay, so already existing state can also be altered, and it can also make a altogether new state. For example, For example, now a new state is made altogether by, um, for example, the demand for making Vidarbha in Maharashtra a new state was going on. So, if the area of Vidarbha is carved out, it will be a completely new state. Okay. Now, it will not be completely new state because it will be carved out from the already existing state. But for example, if Vidarbha was made by a entirely new territory, out of an entirely new territory, then it would be example power to establish new state. Okay. Now note, Article 2 relates to admission or establishment of new state that are not part of Union of India. Okay. Now Article 2 is relating to admission or establishment. Okay. Admission means to admit, and establishment to means to establish something newly altogether. Okay, that is not part of Union of India. Okay, so Article 3 relates to formation of change in existing state of the Union of India. Now Article 2 is done over here, we are moving on to Article 3. So what they are saying is Article 3 relates to formation or change in existing state of Union of India. Okay. Now, if there are some changes that are made in already existing state, for example, Gujarat is a already existing state, and if some changes are made in Gujarat, that will be made under Article 3 because it is already existing state. Okay. Article 3 deals with internal adjustment of territories of state. Okay. So, what is Article 3 dealing with? Article 3 deals with internal adjustments. Okay, internal adjustment of territory of state. Parliament's power to reorganize the state. So what Article 3 is showing us is that Parliament has power to reorganize the state. In this case, in case of Article 3, these are the internal adjustments. Okay, so Article 3 authorizes Parliament to form new state. Article 3 authorizes Parliament to form new state by separation of territory from any state, or by uniting two or more state or part of, this is uniting guys, it is quite not visible. So by uniting two or more state or part of state. So there are two conditions in Article 3. First condition is form a new state by separation of territory from any state. From existing state, if some territory is separated, that will come under Article 3. And second point is by uniting two or more state, by joining two or more part of state. Okay, so these 2 points are valid under Article 3. Now next, and third point here is by uniting any territory to the any part of state. Okay, so can be done by merging, uniting, or by uniting territory to any part of state. All for in an already existing state, if small part of territory is united, that is also possible under Article 3. Now, increasing area of any state, diminishing area of any state, altering boundaries of any state, altering name of any state. Okay, this can all happen under Article 3. What can be done? Area of any state can be increased. A diminishing area of, that means um, decreasing area of any state, altering boundaries can be altered, and altering the name of any state. Okay, however, Article 3 lays down the condition. Okay, what condition Article 3 is laying down? A bill contemplating above changes can be introduced in Parliament only with prior recommendation of the President. But all these things can be happened in Article 3. But what the condition is? A bill contemplating above changes. Above changes means all these changes. A bill which is having all these changes can be introduced in parliament only with the prior recommendation of president. Okay, if you do not have a prior recommendation of the president, you cannot introduce the bill, and if you don't introduce the bill, you will not be able to make these changes. Okay, so the first condition is prior permission of president is necessary. Then second point is president has to refer the same to state legislature concerned for expressing its views within specified period. Okay. Now permission of president is necessary. Second, as this has to do with state, okay, because all these things are related to state, president has to refer this bill to state legislature. Okay. And because president is wanting to know what are the views of the state. Okay, but it is within specified period. There is no unlimited amount of period applicable in this. It can take place only within specified period. Okay, the the president is not bound by the views of state legislature. They may either accept or reject the views even if received in time. Now what we have seen here is permission of president is necessary. Okay, prior recommendation of president is necessary, but in second point, what president will do, president will refer it to the state legislature to know their views. Okay, now president is wanting to know the views of state legislature, but the views of state legislature is not forceful on the president. The president is free. He may either accept or reject the views. Okay, and even if received in time, there is no foundation of time over here. President can either accept or reject the views. It is not bounded on him. It is not necessary to make fresh reference to state legislature every time amendment is moved and accepted in parliament. Now, every time this bill whenever the bill is being introduced in the parliament, if it is related to a same state, for example, they are moving the bill with some changes related to Maharashtra. Okay, but in the first time it is not happening. Some due to some shortcomings, they were not able to pass the bill. So when they are introducing the bill for the second time, they it is not necessary for them to make fresh reference to the state legislature, because in the first attempt they have already made the reference. Okay, now, in case of union territory, no reference is made concerned legislature. Parliament can take any action as it deems fit. Okay. Now, as union territory, UT is union territory. As we all know, that union territory comes under the administration of central government. So, because of that reason, no reference is made to concerned legislature. Okay, parliament can take any action as it deems fit in case of union territory. Okay, now so remember, when under article 3, conditions are different for union territory and state. These 3 points are applicable for state, and for union territory, no reference is made to the concerned legislature. Parliament can take any action. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now let us move to the next page. Now it is clear that constitution authorizes parliament. So from all these factors that we have seen under article 3, it is clear that constitution authorizes parliament to form new states, alters areas, boundaries and names. Okay, so it is clear that parliament can form new state, can alter the area of state, can alter the boundaries of state, and can change the name of state. Okay, of existing state without their consent. Okay, because as we have seen in this page that the views of state legislature can be accepted or cannot be accepted. They are not bounded, so therefore conclusion we draw from this is that Parliament is free to do all this alteration of existing state even if the state is not agreeing with the changes. Okay, it can be said that Parliament can withdraw the political map of India according to its will. That is quite obvious. Parliament is when Parliament is able to make all these changes, we can that ultimately means that Parliament can withdraw the political map of India according to its will. Okay, now, territorial integrity or continued existence of any state is not guaranteed by constitution. Therefore, territorial integrity or continued existence, because the changes that can be made in state, you cannot say that the state that is existing right now will exist forever. Parliament can make any changes according to its will. Okay, therefore India is described as indestructible union of destructible state. Okay, now therefore what this phrase is applicable to India, that is indestructible union. Okay, union cannot be changed, union will be the same, but states can be changed, the structure of states can be changed. Therefore it is said that destructible state. Okay, the union government can destroy a state, but the state government cannot destroy union. Okay, so this implies that union government can destroy state, but state government cannot destroy union. Okay, now moving on to Article 4. Now, Article 4 declares laws made for admission or establishment of new state under Article 2 or formation of new state, alteration of area, boundaries, name of existing state under Article 3. So, what is Article 4 declaring? Article 4 is declaring something regarding Article 2 and Article 3. So, what is Article 2? Admission or establishment of a new state, and Article 3 is all these changes in the existing state. Okay. So, what Article 4 is saying that the provisions under Article 2 and Article 3 are not considered as amendment of the Constitution under Article 368. Now I'll explain you why the picture of amendment is coming over there, because in both the articles, in Article 2 as well as in Article 3, some or the other changes are being made. Fine. So whenever the changes are being made, it is considered as amendment. But Article 4 is saying whatever changes that will be made under Article 2 or under Article 3 will not be considered as amendment under Article 368. That is, these laws can be passed by simple majority and ordinary legislative process. Okay, they will not be considered as amendment, and therefore the process that undertakes while amendment is carried, that will not be applicable over here. So these laws can be passed by simple majority and ordinary legislative process. Okay, so Article 4 is saying that these all the changes are not amendment under Article 368. They can be done by simple majority and ordinary legislative process. Okay, simple. Let's move on to next. In 1960, under Berubari case, SC is Supreme Court held that the power of Parliament to diminish area of state under Article 3 does not cover cession of Indian territory to a foreign territory. Okay, now we have seen this all these things, all these changes that are being carried under Article 3. But the question arised was that if India is wanting to give its territory to some other country or some other state, like it happened in the case of Bangladesh, okay, so how it will be considered? Okay, so in 1960, under Berubari case, Supreme Court held that the power of Parliament to diminish area, diminish means to shorten, to decrease its area, or to diminish means gayab hona. Okay, area of a state does not cover cession of Indian territory to the foreign country. Cession means दे देना किसी को, ओके। तो इंडिया के किसी टेरिटरी फॉरेन कंट्री को दे देना इज डज नॉट कम अंडर आर्टिकल 3 अकॉर्डिंग टू बेरूबेरी केस इन 1960. So what happens next is, therefore, hence this can be done only by amending the constitution under article 368. Okay, so if you want to give some territory of India to other state or other country, this can be done only by amending the constitution, CNA's constitution, under article 368. That cannot be done under article 3. Okay, therefore CAA is constitutional amendment act. Okay, CAA is Constitutional Amendment Act and CAN is Constitution. Therefore, Ninth Constitutional Amendment Act 1960 was enacted to transfer the said territory to Pakistan. Okay, so when India wanted to transfer a territory to Pakistan, Ninth constitutional amendment was made because this thing could not be done under Article 3. Okay, so Supreme Court in 1969 ruled that settlement of boundary dispute between India and other country does not require constitutional amendment. It can be done by executive action. This happened in 1960, and then what happened in 1969, Supreme Court, SC is Supreme Court, ruled that settlement of boundary dispute. Okay, now if India and some other country has to settle a boundary dispute, okay, it does not require constitutional amendment. Okay, for settling the boundary dispute, constitutional amendment will not be required. It can be done by executive action. Okay, it can be done by executive action. So boundary dispute, no amendment is required. It can be done with executive action. And to cede any territory to any state, it can be done under Ninth Constitutional Amendment Act 1960. Okay, as it does not involve cession of Indian territory to foreign countries. Okay, it can be done by executive action because it does not involve cession of Indian territory to foreign country, because boundary dispute is being solved over here. It is not involving cession of Indian territory to, we are not giving any Indian territory to foreign countries, we are just solving the boundary dispute. Therefore it will not require the constitutional amendment. Okay, now exchange of territories with Bangladesh. Now what happened during exchange of territory with Bangladesh? 100th Constitutional Amendment, CAA's Constitutional Amendment Act 2015, was enacted to give effect to acquiring of certain territories by India and transfer of certain territories to Bangladesh. Okay, now I have not written, there is a big paragraph given in this. I just do not found it useful to copy the same thing over here, so I have written the important point in short. What happened in 100 Constitutional Amendment Act 2015? Exchange of territories took place between India and Bangladesh. You can read the details from the book. Okay, so we are done with page number 5. Now moving on to page number 6. Now, evolution of state and union territories. How states and union territories evolved. Okay, evolution of how your state and union territories took place. Now, integration of princely state after enactment of Indian Independence Act 1947. The princely state had three options. Okay, so first point is integration of princely state. How princely state integrated or came together after enactment of Indian Independence Act 1947. As we all know that all this integration of territories took place after India got independence. Okay, so after India Independence Act was enacted in 1947, princely state had three options. Okay, what the three option they had was, they had an option of joining India, they had an option of joining Pakistan, and they had an option of uh, not joining these two but remaining independent. Okay, so out of 552 princely states situated within the geographical boundary of India, 549 joined and 3 refused. Okay, so as India and Pakistan was separated, so 552 princely states that were under in the geographical area of or boundary of India. Out of this 552, 549 joined India due to the efforts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and 3 refused. Okay, so who were those 3 states that were Hyderabad, Junagadh, and Kashmir? Okay, these 3 states refused to joined. So what happened next is, however, in a course of time, they were also integrated. Okay. However, after some time, these 3 territories that refused to join were also integrated. And how they were integrated is Hyderabad by the means of police action, Kashmir by instrument of accession, and Junagadh by referendum. Okay. These 3 states later on also joined the Union of India. Hyderabad, the way in which they joined was different. I'll explain you the instrument of accession and referendum in the upcoming lectures when they need to be explained explicitly. For now, all these 3 states initially they stayed apart but later on they joined. Okay, in 1950 constitution CN is constitution classified the state and territories as part A, B, C, and D. Okay, in 1950 what constitution did, it classified the state and territories in 4 parts. Okay, now, how was the classification done? Part A comprised of erstwhile governor's province. Okay, so part A had all the governor's province. Okay, part B had erstwhile princely state. Okay, part A governor's province, part B princely state, 9 princely state, and 9 governor province. Okay, part C has chief minister's province. See, this governor's province and princely state were all the divisions that were made by Britishers, okay, and that was continued. And Part C contained Commissioner's province of British India and some of the princely state, and Part D comprised of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so this is how the division was made in 1950. Okay, next in 1960, sorry. So now we are moving to Dhar Commission and JVP Commission. Guys, let me check what is the time. Half an hour is already done. I don't want to make a video so long because it is not possible for you guys to continue for an hour. Page number 17 is going on, and page number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 page, 7 more pages we have, so we'll be continuing it in the next lecture, next part. So in the next part we will be starting with the Dhar Commission and JVP Commission. So keep on watching the next part. I hope you like this video. If you do so, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, guys. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next part.